countdown. Listen. And look at this scene as the Giants defeat the Minnesota Vikings 24-23. Alex Webster on the shoulders in a tremendously emotional thing here at Yankee Stadium. With the Giants getting off with a stunning upset over Minnesota 24-23.
Well, hello! Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below, maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But at least anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, now we go to the, we had the defensive, like the tackles, because we're going to Mr. Martindale's defense. He's got the 4-3 kind of thing kind of going on there. So I did a video a few days ago about the tackles. Yesterday I did one that was about the defensive end / kind of edge rusher. All right. Now we kind of go to the linebackers. All right. Now these the linebackers here, all right, are pretty much predominantly linebackers. I mean they're not none of them are really super spectacular as far, I mean, well, look at this linebacker here. He also gets 12 sacks a season now. So it's these guys are pretty much linebackers. I mean, guys for, in the run game, pass coverage, so that's what pretty much these guys are. Anybody who's like any type of like a defensive end or, edge rusher was my video I did yesterday. So we're just looking at linebackers. Now, the Giants asked Blake Martinez to take a nice salary cut. Now, don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But I'm reading it was significant. Now, that's pretty much the only way the Giants are going to be able to keep him. I mean, if he doesn't take a significant pay cut, he's on the hook for $14 million if we keep him. If we let him go, it's $5.5 million in dead cap money. So if we let him go, we got to bite the bullet on the 5.5, but we'll save $8.5 million, baby. Yeah, which is a nice chunk of change. Which is like, Shane's talking about getting about $40 million in cap space. Well, if we save $8.5 million on Blake Martinez, we're 1/5 of the way there. So this would be huge. Now with his injury, it was good and bad. If you can call a season-ending injury good / bad. It was bad because in week 3, I think first quarter, might have been the first drive of the game against the Falcons, Cordarrelle Patterson moved on him, and Blake Martinez, went with the fake and all that, and a second later he's laying down on the dash to turf. Season was over. Nobody hit him. Absolutely nothing. Just season-ending injury, non-contact. Absolutely unbelievable. But so it was bad because he only played like a little over 2 games. He did all that crap in the preseason and training camp and all that stuff just to play like 2 games. And now all the season is over with. The good part about it is that now he's had all last season, he got operated on, work his way back. And now he's off season here and he's working his way back. So by the time September rolls around, he should be, it's a good chance he should be good to go. It all depends. Everybody recovers differently. But if he trains and takes care of himself like the way he plays out on the field, when September rolls around, he should be good to go. I was even like Sterling Shepard. I mean, talking about he might be back by the summertime. So I mean, it's amazing, these guys, that the injuries that they concur, and yeah, it's years in the past, well, it'll be out a year. These guys coming back after like 6, 7, 8 months is just simply amazing, absolutely amazing. But said that they, asked them to take a nice pay cut. Now, if the pay cut is probably, got to be asking at least $5 million. Asking them to come down to maybe at least 9, possibly 8, maybe 7. I can't see him. The guy's too talented. To go down to like $5 million or something, I couldn't possibly imagine seeing that. But I could. Significant amount would be, I'm looking at it be like under 10. Now, as I said, that's up to him. If he wants to stay here, for one more season, I hate bursting anybody's bubble, but we're not going to the Super Bowl next year. Hey, if we do, sign me up. I'm on the bandwagon there, but chances are we're not going to the Super Bowl. So does he want to take a pay cut to stay with the team who's not going anywhere? Hopefully we'll compete and all that, but the guys, we're gonna have to let go of some guys just to get under the salary cap and all that stuff, and we'll compete. I'm sure we're gonna compete, but I can't see anything miraculous happening. So that's kind of up to Blake Martinez. I haven't heard anything yet, but you do know. Okay, so today is the 6th. Free agency's the 16th. So in 10 days, we got to get his answer. If Bradbury's going to get traded, we're going to hear about that. Or if not, we may just have to let him go. So we're going to have to get under the salary cap, soon. So we're going to hear Sterling Shepard's answer soon. We're going to hear Blake Martinez's answer soon. So, but if Blake Martinez does not say, I'll take a huge salary cut, right? Okay, so we're about to let him go. But we'll save about $8.5 million. Now, do you want to take credit? Had a lot of tackles last year. Didn't grade out too well. Sometimes he said he did a very good job making tackles, but he was also one of the problems too, as well on our defense. So is that something you want to leave up to him, manning the middle of the defense? The Giants have been weak in the linebacker position for a while. So there's some good names here. Nobody. There's some good guys. Couple guys who may be a little on the older side, but at least with this position, there's nobody here on like that. There was a list I saw on the internet, okay, and broke them down, and nobody here is over $10 million a year. So the Giants will be able to make a splash on somebody. I don't know who that's going to be, what position it's going to be, who knows. But if Blake Martinez does not take the pay cut, we might wind up trying to make a little bit of a splash on getting a linebacker here. Okay, so the first one they have on the list here is, you got Devondre Campbell from the Packers. All right, now Pro Football Focus, right, has him at around $9 million. Take it for whatever it is. He could sign for 8. Somebody might throw a lot of money at him and give him 11, but they said it should be around $9 million a year, right? Good thing with him, he's a 3-down linebacker, and he's played in at least 850 snaps ever since 2016, which was his rookie season. Guy doesn't come off the field. All right, he'll be 29. All right, but $9 million, 3-down linebacker. All right, last year he graded very, very well, which he was he graded out at 85.8. But all the other years he never graded out that high. Okay, but I said he's dependable. You wind him up, you put him out there. I'll see you at the end of the game, pal. Doesn't get hurt. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx anybody, but good solid linebacker. And I felt like 3-down linebacker, $9 million a year. May not be a bad choice. Then you got Alexander Johnson, okay, from the Broncos. Right? He's 30. Right? Pro Football Focus once again has him only at about a $7 million a year deal. Very, very affordable. He only played in 6 games in 2021. Okay, he's very good against the run. All right, actually in 2021 and 2019, his run defense, according to Pro Football Focus, was over 90. He's very good in the run defense. Right, he's only played in 3 seasons so far. Right, and basically he got started late. Okay, he's 30, and he's only played in 3 seasons. And so basically on his body, his wear and tear on his body, he has about 2,000 snaps, which is like, you're 30, that's nothing. I mean, you figure if Blake Martinez was healthy, he would have been on the field for like 1,000 snaps last year. So Blake Martinez in 2 seasons would have 2,000 snaps. This guy, he's 30 and he only has 2,000 snaps, period. So $7 million, very reasonable. But he is from the Broncos, right? And you'll also kind of notice that, like, as I'm going over these, none of these guys, except for one, I'm thinking of, has any, well, our defensive line coach has association with one of these guys. But a lot of these guys, there's nobody here like from the Ravens I'm thinking of, nobody from the Bills, so there's no ties to Shane or Dable or Martindale or nothing like that. So it's not like, Shane and Dable just left Buffalo and Buffalo's outside linebacker is a free agent and he's really good and we might want to bring him over here and, could sign him for about 8 or 9 minutes. There's none of that. So once again, we'll just have to wait and see where Shane winds up going. Does he do the familiarity thing where he tries to get guys he's familiar with, or is he just start trying to take maybe the best/cheap guy possible? Then we got Fourier Oliquin, okay, from the Falcons. He'll be 27. All right, so he's young. He's the most expensive one out of all these guys. But PFF has him like a 4-year deal at about $10 million a year. So they were saying about 4 years, $40 million. Okay, so but he's the most expensive one here. All right. Last season, all right, he did not really grade out well. All right. But he had 131 solo tackles. Kind of was like Tay Crowder. Tay Crowder had a lot of tackles last year. He just did not grade out well. I mean, he just didn't, grade out well. But his Oliquin's 131 solo tackles was first in the NFL. He had 47 assisted tackles too. So he was in on 178 tackles altogether. Phenomenal, okay? He also had 3 interceptions, which was the most of his career. All right, it's not like he's an interception machine. Now, he's good, when he can run free. All right? When he's not locked onto a blocker or something like that, all right? He kind of gets caught up in the blocks and all and everything. But he is a tackling machine. I mean, it's if he run free, he's very good. Right? But he's the most. He says he'll be 27, and he's the most expensive guy according to Pro Football Focus. Right, at around $10 million a year. Now, the next guy here we're kind of familiar with. This guy called the New York Giants soft last year, and I gotta agree with him. Leighton Vander Esch, he said, usually I'm freaking battered after I get done playing a football game. He said, not so much with the Giants. And yeah, I gotta agree with him on that one. I'll give you a thumbs up on that one, pal. Hey, sometimes the truth hurts. I don't see the Giants offense bowling anybody over. So I'm right there with you, Leighton. Now he's a former first rounder. I think he is a former first round. I think he was a little bit of I think he was 19th pick overall. I mean, he's just nice, but as a first round pick, number 19, I think it was a bit of a stretch. PFF has him about $8.5 million a year. So like a 3-year deal for like about $25 million, 25.5. So, it's reasonable for a linebacker, right? He's not really great at, shedding blocks. He can play, what they had was he can either play like middle linebacker or he can play the weak side linebacker. So he has, flexibility there, all right? But I mean, he's nice. He doesn't do anything super spectacular. He's not phenomenal in coverage, right? I mean, if the defensive front can keep him clean, he'll make some tackles for you. Nothing super spectacular there. The next one is Josie Jewel, all right, from the Broncos. He's 27 years old. Pro Football Focus has him at around $6 million a year. So very, very affordable. Not bad for a 27-year-old with some experience, right? He's pretty much, Ross Reed, good at pretty much everything, okay? But he's not great at anything. Just a very good, solid linebacker. Nothing super duper spectacular. He would be a nice, but for the Giants, he would be a nice upgrade. I mean, for $6 million, that's experienced linebacker. $6 million, that's a very cheap price. I mean, for the Giants, that may not be may not be bad. Last season, he only played in a couple games because he tore his pectoral muscle, and he was out all season. Right, so I think he graded out very well last year, but it was just a small. I think it was just the 2 games he played in, so it's kind of tough to tell exactly, how he would have played all season. But for the most part, in his career, he's done a very nice job pretty much at everything. And I said, it's $6 million. That's something the Giants could certainly afford without question. The next one we got, is Dante Hightower, right, from New England. Right? Thing is, with him, he'll be 32. PFF has him around $7.5 million a year. Very, very affordable, but with him, I don't know if the Giants are going to want to sign somebody maybe for a couple years who's a 32-year-old. I mean, it's somebody like that just really wouldn't make much sense for him. Now, thing is, New England's very good with their schemes. He plays very good for New England. Now, is that, he's going to translate and play well on another team? I mean, kind of like Nate Solder, playing with the New England with their scheme and the coaches and all that, the way they have him playing. He was good. He comes here to do another team with the Giants, and he's not so good. So, I mean, it's kind of with, Hightower. It's kind of, he's very good against the run. Very, very good against the run. Last year, he graded out at 69 against the run. So, it's a very good, solid grade. Nothing super spectacular. He's 32, but he's very good. But pass coverage, he was horrible. Last year, he graded out at 38.8. So he's not somebody you want to put in coverage. He's good at the line of scrimmage, and making tackles and against the run, but not so much in pass coverage. So then you got next we got Anthony Barr from the Vikings. Now this is the only guy I think of who has any kind of connection. We've got Patterson, our defensive line coach, would be very familiar with him. Now, I don't know if, Patterson's going to be trying to talk the guy up or anything like that. Who the heck knows? But he's, same thing with Barr. He's 30 years old. PFF has him around $7.25 million a year, which is very affordable. He's a good starting outside linebacker. He's good, all right. He is good in coverage, and he's good at rushing the quarterback, all right. His weakness would be against the run, all right. He had 3 interceptions last year, all right. Very, very, very good. But, you see some of these guys like Dante Hightower, all right, good against the run. You don't want him dropping into coverage. Anthony Barr, you want him dropping in coverage, maybe not so much in there against the run. So, I mean, some of these guys are very, you can only put them in there for maybe, possible passing downs, other guys possible running downs, So, then the next guy you got, is Kaiser White, all right, from the Chargers. He's only 26 years old, all right. He's an outside linebacker, all right. He does everything well, but once again, he does nothing great, all right. Like last year, his run defense was a 63. Solid. Nothing spectacular, solid. His pass rush was a 73. So he's very good around the line of scrimmage. His run defense is good. He's good at rushing a passer. And last year in coverage, 65.7. Very good. Nice and solid. He's, as I said, Chargers, he's only 26 years old. So, and he would be affordable too. So, Giants, as an outside linebacker, Giants could use help there, right? Somebody who's affordable, who's young, who does everything pretty well, might be worth taking a shot at. I mean, although once again, there's no familiarity, there with him, with Shane or Dable or Martindale or anybody. So, who knows? Then you got Juwan Bentley, okay, and you got the same thing here. You got Juwan Bentley and Jaylen Brown. All right, Jayon Brown, I think it is. These two guys are like almost the exact opposite. Even Juwan Bentley are from the Patriots, right? He's only 25. PFF has him around $5 million a year. Very, very affordable, okay? He's very good against the run, all right? Not so good against the pass. Jayon Brown from the Titans is 27. PFF has him around $4.75 million, okay? He's better in coverage, not so much against the run, So some of these guys are very, very specific. I said you got Devondre Campbell, all right, from the Packers, right? He was like the top guy on the list. He's a 3-down linebacker. As I said, you just wind the dude up, send him in there. When the game's over, we'll see you, brother. We'll see you then. Other than that, you ain't coming off the field, And he's only $9 million. So I mean, some of these guys are good against the run. Some are good against the pass. Some do everything kind of okay, what I mean? But there's no super duper spectacular all-star. If there was, I mean, there would be well into the teens per year, millions of dollars per year. But once again, I mean, if the Giants, because there's only like 10, 11 guys on this list, there's not many guys, there's 32 teams, so the chance of the Giants actually getting any of these guys, other than maybe Blake Martinez, is kind of slim to none. But I mean, there's a ton of guys out there, but I mean, there's even KJ Wright out there, who was with the Raiders, who was obviously best known for being with the Seahawks, but he was with the Raiders last year, but he'll be 33 years old. Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys. The Giants said once again they still got some guys from the team from last year, right? We got 9 draft picks. We'll also have some college free agents as well too. So I'm sure once the free agent draft is over with, we're going to want to bring in quite a few guys there too, and they might compete maybe to help fill out some of the roster spots too. But none of these guys really have any kind of real big time connection with Shane, Dable, or Martindale. None of these guys are super duper spectacular. They'd be out of the Giants' price range. All right, but I'm saying if there was, there's might be a couple guys on this list that the Giants might be able to afford it and just might bring in, and try to sign as a free agent. I mean, as I said, we'll have to wind up seeing what Shane winds up doing in 10 days from now when free agency starts. Is he going to be on a linebacker? Quite possibly not. If we're going to make any kind of a splash, I could really, really see it being on the offensive line. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there. Go Giants! Woo!